Okay. I have to set up things. So give me a moment. Setting up things. Channel. Subscribers only mode. Yes, subscribers only mode. えーっと、pin the message, pin comments, pinned. Mic is probably fine. Cool. Okay. Alright. これかな。よし。Whew. Sorry guys, I didn't set up live stream. Didn't schedule live stream today. Because I wasn't sure if I could go live today, to be honest. It's a long story. So as I said last weekend, I went to Hamamatsu. To film videos, collaboration videos with Gizmo and Tali, aka Kuro Couch. Yeah. So I made a trip to Hamamatsu, which is like 2 hours trip by Shinkansen bullet train. It was the first trip in a while to me. I went there by myself. So Justin look after Hiro during the trip. But yeah, it was for the first time in a while. And then for the first time, me socializing as well. as I've been telling you, I'm very introverted and I haven't been socialized and I haven't met Gizmo and Tali in real life. I mean, we've been chatting or, messaging on Instagram or something like that, but I've never met them before. So it was the first time meeting them, right? And I couldn't really sleep before the day, and then so lack of sleep, trip to Hamamatsu, all that kind of stuff, made me kind of like a weak というか、at the end of the day, I got sick というか、I got motion sickness from like bullet train ride and car ride. Tali gave us a ride to his house and to the station and stuff like that. And then I felt really sick from those rides. And then it didn't go away even when I get back home. And then I felt really sick motion sickness last night, and I wasn't sure if I could go on live stream today, so I couldn't set really schedule live stream. But after came back and then ate a little bit and uh, slept. Oh my gosh, I feel like I feel rested for the first time in a while. I guess I was really nervous for the collaboration, although I knew, and then they are, Kuro Couch. Those guys are so nice and so fun to talk with, and then it's all fine, but I felt very nervous, I guess. So yeah, I feel rested now after the really good sleep today. So I decided to go on live. But yeah, last night I felt really sick. Yeah. Yeah. Being a mom, haven't really socialized, haven't really filmed a video with other, collaboration videos. I haven't done that since when? I don't know, right? I mean, I was on like a dating, dating beyond borders, dating beyond borders. I went on their podcast and stuff like that, but it was on remote. She's in New York, and I just joined from Japan, so it was not like I made a trip and met somebody and filmed together. But yeah, it's been a while, so yeah. I think I felt a little overwhelmed by all this setting. Despite that, Kuro Couch was super chill, super nice, so funny. I was laughing all the time. Well, it was so fun. And I'm really excited to publish this video in the future. If it probably takes some time to edit again, so I don't know when I can publish, to be honest. But Kuro Coach will definitely publish some videos earlier than I do, so I will let you know when they do. But yeah, I'm so excited to share with you guys. Yeah. And also, thanks for watching the latest video. I uploaded a video for the first time in a while. I think 5 days ago かな違う。4 days ago かな And thanks for all the kind comments towards the video. I feel really, warm. Very warm. And then I feel even more motivated to be back on content creation. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah. And wow, thanks for the super chats. Octopus King and Brody. Oh, Brody. ちょっと久しぶりかな First time in a while? In a bit かな Favorite American films, television series, and books. なるほど、なるほど。American films. Mm, ちょっと待ってね。I will give shout out first. Octopus King, Brody. Thank you so much for the support. So, I always tell you guys that my なんだろうねall-time favorite movie is Lord of the Rings. もう Lord of the Rings だね。That's the best. Nothing will nothing will come first. Probably not. まあ in a recent favorite まあテレビジョンシリーズはもうテレビジョンシリーズもね probably this なんだっけ Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Actually, I've just finished watching Better Call Saul recently. It was fantastic. Fantastic. The series was fantastic. I was so surprised because I watched Breaking Bad first, and then it was phenomenal. もう good quality TV show ever, right? And then I didn't think Better Call Saul would be as good, but it's actually maybe better. It's hard to say which is good because both are so good, but in a way, I might like Better Call Saul more than Breaking Bad. In a way, they have really different 何 theme というか different thing going on, so it's hard to say, oh, this is absolutely better. But they are both good. Both good. まあ、あとは Shogun was really good too. I think I'm biased, but but Shogun was so good. My recent favorite かな。まあ、I don't really read books, so I can't really say about books. まあ、speaking of books, なんか did I show you this? まあ、this is a book I recently bought. Might be interesting to share. まあ、これ撮ったらいいか。まあ、これね。It's more like a casual thing. It's not much to read, to be honest. More like an image. It says なんて言ったらいいかな。なんか江戸ピリオドファッションイラストレーションね。江戸ピリオドの。You know, Edo period is like it's like samurai and you know, oiran geisha kind of. まあ geisha is not a Edo thing. Geisha まあ in Tokyo, Edo, they are called oiran. Oiran is like まあなんて言ったらいいかね。I don't know how to describe. まああれかな brothels まあ like fancy brothel fancy brothel people まあ women とかねまあ how they dressed it's the illustration is very なんか precise they really show the you know fashion items and explain things なんか for example you see this hats right なんかこういう hats covers just here these are actually for men it might look like women but these are for men this hat right they were wearing this because they are they are playing female roles in kabuki, right? Because kabuki, no women performed kabuki officially, right? Because you know, women are not supposed to be on stage, apparently. まあ、sexist country. まあ sexist reason だけど、まあ women were not on stage, so men were also playing female role in kabuki performances, right? And for the actors who played a female role, they had long hair, right? Like women, right? But the government started to ban men to have long hair, so they had to have, you know, men hairstyle like this, the mage thing. So they had to shave here, right? They had to shave here, but it doesn't look feminine at all when they play female role, right? So they created this kind of hats to cover up their shaved head and made it look more feminine to play the female role, which I didn't know about it. It's a interesting details, you know. Now things like that. It's fascinating to learn like Edo fashion. Yeah. The illustrator, she recreate this illustration from ukiyo-e, which is like traditional painting. So this is legit. It's not like she doesn't make shit up about this fashion trend in Edo period. ね。とか。Yeah. Jin Yugo. Hope you're feeling better after being under the weather. Thanks. Andy, hello. What is a cat? What is a cat? Hello. Kuberan, hello. Eloyd, welcome back. Oh, how was your trip? I think you said you are going to go to Japan. Reds Gamer, hello. Anthony, hello. RB, your recent video was great. Thank you so much for watching. James, Guten Tag. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks. Victor, you like Better Call Saul? Yes. Yeah, it's a really nice show. なんか I like more like なんだろう how Breaking Bad was like more like shooting guns and drugs and all that kind of stuff, but Better Call Saul was more like emotional things, drama going on, which was interesting. Yeah. Dennis, oh, I made it. Got off work at decent time. Oh, nice. お疲れ様。あかねチャンネル、16歳になりました。16. Wow. Happy birthday. 16. Young. Steven, what about no theater? No は、I think no 歌舞伎 is more like, for like lower classes, right? But no is more like fancy, like government accepted performance, whereas kabuki wasn't. Hey, boy, you destroyed the light in this room. ね。ブブー。はい。パパYeah, Papa left money, coins.
Fell out of my pocket yesterday. I put it there so he wouldn't play with it.
No. You don't. Gaga? Hi, Gaga.
Yukun, say hi to chat.
Hello.
Yukun.
Yeah, looking at the screen.
There you go.
Nice. Nice. Nah, it's a little chilly today, so he's wearing a little warmer. Guaga. まだこれもこれもう he always takes it. At some point, those gagas are gone, right? これじゃん But you already have two. You already have two. What do you do? How do you? You already have two. You can't. You can't.
Hey, we're done with the gagas.
So many gagas. Hey, ow! What's that? Gaga fell.
Gaga, gaga, gaga. Alright, Dako.
どこ
Dako だよ. He took all your birds.
Oh my gosh! None of the birds are left. Okay, okay. I got one back. Ma, he's kissing birds. No more birds. Yeah, he's kissing Gaga, kissing birds. Ma, ma. Yeah. He loves stuffed animals in general, but especially penguins and birds. Like, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Ryan かな Ryan. Hello. V. Dot. How common is it for girls to invite guys to stay over their place in Japan? I've only been dating my girlfriend for around 2 months, long distance, and she invited me to stay with her when I visit in May. Was surprised. まあでも、ロングディスタンスでしょ? I mean, long distance. I mean, she's offering a place to stay. And then, I guess that sounds like natural to invite in a long distance relationship. Well, some girls might be like, yeah, you stay at some, you should make reservation for the hotel, and then you are not getting into my house. Some girls might be that way to be like cautious, but I think it's kind of like, come on, right? So I think it's pretty. It's nice that she offers you to stay. Common? I don't know. It depends. Common? Is it common? It depends on the situation. If you live closer, then she wouldn't probably like easily invite you unless she's like slutty. You know. かな? Depends. But in your situation, it sounds very normal. Like, oh, Lloyd, my trip was good. Had a great time. Cool. Did you meet any interesting people? I think you said you go to Osaka or something, if I remember correctly. Sumo wrestlers have a similar hairstyle. They use a lot of oil that they use a full bottle of shampoo to wash off the oil. ね、これね、そうそう、曲げ。Cute. I finished my second trip to Japan. It was so much fun, Steven. Nice. I think a lot of people came Japan recently to see cherry blossom. But yeah, when I went to Hamamatsu yesterday, I got on a bullet train, right? Well, so many tourists. Yeah. I think the entire bullet train car, I looked around, and I would say 70% were foreigners and tourists, and locals were minority, to be honest. うん、on the Shinkansen. But yeah, so many tourists. Even now, after cherry blossom is kinda gone, it's almost gone. Still there, but almost gone. You know. Mm. Incognito. What Japanese music group is more popular? Southern All Stars or YMO? YMO? Who's YMO? So I guess Southern All Stars are more popular. It's more popular. YMO ってなんだ? I think it sounds ちょっとolder. うん。そうそう。Yeah. The Hamamatsu trip was fun, although the main purpose is to film videos with Kuro Couch, right? I did a little bit of sightseeing there. I went to Hamamatsu Castle, where uh, Ieyasu Tokugawa, the shogun, it's actually the model of Toranaga in Shogun TV series or book. Um, Ieyasu Tokunaga lived in the early time when he was like 30 to 45. He stayed at Hamamatsu Castle, um, and made a lot of victories and honor. So it's called 出世城。うん。なんて言うんだろうな。That's where Ieyasu Tokunaga became big, uh, to become like a real shogun, right? So yeah, going there, people say go to Hamamatsu Castle makes you bring you victory, bring you um, luck with your promotion. Yeah, promotion castle. That's what they say. Promotion castle. うん。Yeah. So they had like all the armors. They were displaying armors Tokugawa Ieyasu was wearing. Of course, those are kind of replica of armors, but swords and tapestry kind of stuff. あとはなんだろうね。Like little things they discovered while digging, discovering the castle. So it was interesting. It's a small castle, but was still interesting to check out. And the cherry blossom there is gorgeous. There are so many cherry blossom trees around the castle, and it's actually a park. So it was fun. It was so nice to see. セドリック、こんにちは。Having a great time and visit Nara the last few days and saw the giant Buddha statue. So incredible to see. Nice, nice. いいね。Sightseeing. JP Alhambra. Did your husband celebrate because the Florida team won the NCAA? I think that is his. No, he's not interested in sports, so he didn't. Hey, Tally, the smallest castle in Japan. So it's yes, yeah, smaller. It was smaller than I expected. When I got off the bus, but yeah, I got off the bus station, looked around. There isn't like any big castle, things that I thought it would be a castle. Um, yeah, so I felt like, did I got off the wrong station? But looked carefully, there is a small castle on the hill. So I was like, okay, I guess that is Hamamatsu Castle. You know? Yeah, apartment castle, 1 LDK. It's quite small, quite small. Yeah, but still nice to see. And the whole area is nice. There's a garden, there's the cherry blossom trees, there is a park that kids can play, family friendly. And actually, the Starbucks there was so nice. It's literally connected to the park under the castle, and yeah, good vibe, good vibe. ね、浜松。Yeah, I think it would be a really nice place to live when it comes to, like you're still connected to nature while you can still go to like big cities pretty easily, you know. Yeah, maybe Smith family will move to Hamamatsu. Will we? We'll see. Hey Daryl, I could use some more luck. Yeah, you should visit Hamamatsu Castle uh, if you want to promotion. It was really nice meeting you. Hope we can finish our plans next time. Yeah. Because I felt so sick. So we were going to we were going to the Hamburg restaurant. Hamburg, まあ、Japanese Hamburg restaurant. Uh, there is a really famous one in Hamamatsu, and we wanted to go. I wanted to go, but I felt so sick after the ride, and we couldn't go. I ruined the plan. I feel so bad, but yeah, next time definitely we'll get Sawayaka Hamburg. Hamburg steak かな Hamburg steak. うん。Is matching outfits a typical couple thing to do in Japan? My girlfriend wants to wear a matching outfit with me, and I was surprised because I'm usually the one who suggests that, but she beat me to it. Okay, I mean, as long as it's mutual, you guys both want to do, then that's, go for it. But it's not common. It's not common unless you are really young. Like if you are 20 or a teenager and doing matchy, that's cute. But for adults, it's not common. It's not common. Mm. Sounds like a great vibe. I would love to live in a place like that. ね、浜松。Blue Crusader かな What is your position on Japan's immigrant issues with some troublesome tourists and residents and Japan slowly becoming too liberal when it comes to mainstream institutional social accepting of LGBT? なんか it sounds ちょっと mixed. Social acceptance of LGBT. LGBT and immigrant stuff sounds very different issue. But when it comes to immigrants, right? Immigrant situation is always rough. Always. It has been strict all the time. It's not just a recent thing. It's just hard to be an immigrant in Japan. when it comes to long term, right? Justin is still, busting his ass, his ass, um, to get a visa. Although this is 10th year of him being in Japan, but he is still having hard time getting visa. Although he's making no trouble, no criminal history or no like trouble, nothing. But it's still a lot of work to get a visa, right? It's always hard, and it's just a media thing that media is talking about like rude tourists, troublesome foreigners. That makes it look like foreigners making trouble and Japan is more strict about immigrants. No, immigrant situation is always bad. Bad to strict. If you're a foreigner want to live in Japan in the long term, that's like I wish you a good luck. I mean, I really wish. And I really hope government will look at each and own situation. Like for example, the reason not to give visa or like long term visa. You usually get like 1 year or 3 years visa. That's maximum. You can rarely get 5 years visa unless you have a really fancy job or something like that, right? You make so much income or something like that and paying taxes, whatever. Unless you are that kind of foreigner, you will get 1 or 3 years visa, right? Very short. And the reason they do that is very silly. Oh, you switched your job. That's bad. Like bad? I mean, you switched to your jobs. You are not working for a company so long. So it looks suspicious. So we don't give you long-term visa. Here, 1 year visa. Bye. Like switching jobs is just normal, right? In certain area, but they just see that as suspicious, right? Like it's silly as that. It's always like that. So it's not because the rise of tourists. No, it's not really related. But yeah, I mean it's true that more tourists are coming into Japan, and few of them will make trouble like that. And media picks up a lot of those issues. That makes it look like, oh, tourists are bad. I don't like that kind of narrative. Yeah, rude people are rude. It's not just foreigners. Yeah. Keitaro, I almost thought there is no stream today. Yeah. I explained at the beginning, and sorry about that. Tally, I mean, we found your next house next to the restaurant. Ayano is waiting too. Cook. Yeah. Say hi to Ayano-san, Ayano-chan. Say good luck with the moving かな。ね。Yeah. RB, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate it. Thank you. I plan to go to Japan late summer, early fall. Okay, yeah, still hot, but still fine. I live near remnants of a castle. I live near remnants of a castle, and my hometown has remnants of a castle. But Hamamatsu Castle must be small. Oh, you're a castle guy. What is your position on Japan's immigrant? あれ? Did I? Yeah, you double commented. Okay. We didn't have time to go. Not sure for that all. Go next time. We'll go next time. Always have a great stream. Chat with you later. Enjoy all your questions. Thanks. Yep. We'll catch up later. Oh, Ninja Monkey. Guess who's in Tokyo? あれ? Oh, you came to Tokyo? Oh. Next time I'm back, let's collab. You mentioned wanting to do more work with other creators. Yeah, sure. LGBTQ needs to go, just personal opinion. Oh. We don't get into it. Oh. It's not talked about a lot, but there are rude Japanese. Yeah, for sure. I see rude Japanese everywhere in Japan. I've noticed that LGBT has becoming something more pushed in Japanese institutions in the form of DEI. I watched a video about this from Nobita-san. Oh, okay. From Nobita-san. Okay. They say Japanese summer is no joke, but all my friends are going during that time. Well, it depends on where you live. If you live in like Arizona, Texas, South Florida, um, it might be bearable. But still, even people who live there, say that Japan's summer is worse. So be aware. Be aware. Dabi. I don't really know how visa works, but I just want to study advanced Japanese language and guitar culture. Guitar culture, okay. After a few years of engineering in the US. Nice. My engineering job ね. Yeah, you might have a chance to go to like depends on what kind of engineering and what kind of profession. Like guitar engineer? Don't know much about that. But if you have that kind of skill set, engineering or stuff like that, you might find good job. To work in Japan in a highly skilled field such as information technology is very difficult for non-native Japanese speakers and even holders of the N1 certificate. I was looking into expatriate roles. そうだね。ソフトウェアエンジニアとかね。ソフトウェアエンジニアリング、that field is just underrated in Japanese working job market. But when I guess I'm more talking about more like manufacturing engineering, manufacturing engineers, or maybe like gaming industry, like 3D artists とかね. That kind of skill set's more likely to you have more chance in getting like fancier jobs in Japan. I think. but it's not something a lot of people have. So, そうだね。Love Japanese summer, matsuri, festivals, fireworks, yukata, but yes, hot. Yes. もうね、so it feels, because they have all the good events during summer, right? But recently, it's just too hot to enjoy those fun events, which is sad. And I think because I think it's slowly happening, to be honest, in even in my area. They are kind of moving those summer festival to kind of like late summer or even autumn, because it's still hot and people can't really enjoy anymore. Like, yeah, fireworks とか festivals. Yeah. Cherry 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 kum. Yeah, it's true. I'm from Florida and Japan summer was worse. Right? Right? It's no joke for sure. Dario is from Ohio. Oh, then yeah, good luck with Japanese. Even late summer, it's still so hot. Kinoshita Jonah. I'm naturalizing to Japan. Wish me luck. Naturalizing. Okay, good luck. Jacksonville, Florida is a meme place. Ah, so I think Justin said that too. Computer engineering, both software and hardware. Guitar is just my personal hobby. Ah, okay, okay. ああ、そっかそっか。そっち系か。yeah, maybe hard to get job. I think it's not hard to simply get a job, but it's usually way lower salary than should be, right? So be aware. A lot of people from Florida in here. Hello from Miami. We stay in AC during the summer. Miami ka. Nice. I was going to say, from what I hear, software engineer as a career in Japan isn't appreciated. Not appreciated at all. Remnant is 残骸。ああ。なんて言ったらいいのか。遺跡みたいな感じかな。わかんないけど。でも、なんとなくわかった。Japan getting hotter and hotter every year. Yeah, I mean, it might be a sensitive topic, but it's not just Japan. It's a global warming. It's called global warming だっけ。I'm used to spending my whole day on projects. Engineering is like living in the shadows. Don't expect to feel appreciated. Have to love your job for sure. まあ appreciated when it comes to salary. I'm talking about money. I don't know if you watch anime, but I recommend you watch a series called からかい上手の高木さん. It's a wholesome slice of life rom-com that is very family friendly. No, I don't really watch anime, to be honest. Simo, thanks and welcome back. Hoping all is well with you and your family. Thank you, thank you. You too. Thank you. Naturalizing is 帰化。あ、帰化しようとしてんだ。I had to fill out 100 pages of papers and gather documents. It's a long process. That's for sure. 帰化ね。Even naturalizing. Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that, for sure. ねえ。How long have you been in Japan? I guess it's long enough, huh? Oh Lloyd, in 2022, a friend of mine offered me a job in Japan. It was as a janitor for a bar. Janitor? Maybe I should have taken it. Janitor って何? What's janitor? It's getting colder here, in my opinion. It's still snowing when it's a month into spring. Pyun! How you been? Good. I have lived here for 16 years. Woo. I have had permanent residency for 10 years. Hey, good. そっか。You got permanent resident visa in like six year in Japan? That's yeah, that's I think that's good, right? I've seen like people living in Japan more than 10 years and still cannot get permanent residency for like mysterious reasons. Oh, like not enough reason to be a permanent resident. They don't really go detail, They don't really go into detail. Application denied. Not enough reason to stay permanently. Bye. That's it. It's really frustrating. It sounds really frustrating. So, yeah, definitely good luck with that. Cutlass. A janitor is the person that cleans the building. But cleans the place. Yeah. I don't know. If you were totally up to it, if you would do anything to stay in Japan, then go for it. But janitor at the bar, it sounds like messy place. I wouldn't just recommend it, but if you really want to do it, right? How hot does it get in Japan? I used to go to Mexico as a child, so let's compare. I don't know the なんだっけ Fahrenheit, but in Celsius, Japanese summer it can go up to 40 degree. Usually like around 35 かな 35, 38 even in Tokyo area. But it's not just a degree. It's the humidity. Humid. So humid. Very humid. Very humid. On top of that, in Tokyo area, there aren't so much nature. It's a concrete street with a little green and tall building. Makes it even more hot. So it's not just a degree. But the feeling, the humidity, concrete, and just so many buildings, it makes you feel super hot. Like, yeah, don't stay outside too long during Japanese Tokyo summer, you know? らへん前朝オフか。OK。Sky Falcon. When I visited Japan, someone came up to me and asked me to model for them. I declined because I thought it was a scam. Is this a common thing for people visiting? Is it? I don't know. I'm not a visitor, so I don't know. Like Tokyo? Maybe. Or like what kind of model is it? I've seen like なんか contents, social media contents that offer their services, like maybe like a kimono rental service. But I think it's arranged. But yeah, they are like basically uh catch foreigners on the street and hey, we are rental kimono service. Do you want to try and be a model? And then they make, do the makeover, let them wear kimono and do the hairdo, and then, film as content or advertise. I've seen that kind of contents, but I don't really know. Well, yeah. 日本人永住者の、配偶者の場合は最短3年で申請できます。It's probably easier because I'm married to a Japanese citizen. Right. Right. そういうことね。まあでも、it's like you can apply from third year of spouse visa. If you are on spouse visa, you can apply from third year. You can apply. You have a right to apply, but we don't assure you to accept it. Isn't that what they're saying? I feel really suspicious here. ね。ね。And even the spouse visa, and I don't know about your situation, but Justin is only getting 1 year each year. So he has to apply to renew visa every single year, which is super pain in the ass, especially dealing with kids. It's a heavy burden, you know. So yeah, keeping the spouse visa in early, especially within 3 years, is already a lot of work. So yeah, you can apply. But yeah, good luck with the results. I really hope you get it. But yeah, I hope they don't um, decline with almost no reason. I was told by a Japanese family is the best way to stay in Japan permanently is to marry a Japanese girl before they wished me luck. まあでも, as I said, keeping the spouse visa is already hard. So yeah, it probably makes it easier to get permanent visa, but still long way. I was in Pattaya last July. Talk about hot world. そっか、パタヤね。まあ、Thailand, yeah. It's even more south, so yeah. And humid in those, Southeast Asian countries. Yes, yes, that's definitely worse. Yeah. Yeah, the humidity makes it worse. Yeah. Someone convert. So. Oh, 104 Fahrenheit. Yeah. There was a YouTuber that was randomly asked to model in Japan well, but you can never tell if it's scam or not. ね、ちょっとね、ちょっと scary ね。This happened to me when I was walking around Shibuya. I think it was maybe to wear clothes for them. He asked me if I was available to meet another day for a shoot. I was just surprised. Now, maybe it's not a scam, but is it worth your time? I don't know. It's a very, なんだろう, limited time during your visit, right? In Oita, 35 in centigrade is usual, but the humidity is the killer. そうね。Yeah, South Japan. Can they really send a married father out? Apparently. Apparently. I mean, they still give you visa, right? 1 year. And if you don't renew it, yeah, they are able to kick you out even though you are a father of Japanese citizen. Nah, it's wild. Submit K-dramas are the reason for Japan's and even the world's low birth rate. I think it has, yeah, it has some responsibility. Yeah, agree. Probably not the main reason though. There are professionals to help with visas and residency. There are lawyers who will help you to get visa. They will arrange documents for you, um, and yeah, go to the embassy and all that kind of stuff for you. It's expensive, but they are so helpful. Justin's actually using it while doing this. He's working full time and he's raising Hiro. He has no time to deal with this shit. So yeah, he asks lawyer to do on behalf. Still though, still you have to get some document. There are some documents only you can get and lawyers can't. And me as a spouse, I have to film a few documents at the first try. Well, from second year, I don't have to fill out so many, but the first year was kind of rough because I have to give all my information too, right? My tax situation, is it all paid? とか、my family's information, my family's information, his spouse's family's information. It's a lot. Now, I don't mind giving my address or numbers and everything. I'm a spouse. Cool. It's reasonable. But my family's address and phone numbers, right? And my parents have no issues with that, but my sister, it was hard to convince her to give her number and address. She is a very, very cautious person. She doesn't want to give any information, like personal information about her, as long as it's necessary or like makes sense, right? It's a government document that requires her number and address, but she was still like, why do I have to give my information? It's personal. She was really stubborn about it at first, and I had to convince her, you know, which is crazy. Yeah, I I had to deal with that kind of shit at the first year. So yeah, it's really rough, especially the first year of spouse visa. But yes, the lawyer handled it very well. And she will tell you what to expect. Hey, first year, first trial, you're not gonna get a long-term visa like 3 years or 5 years. It's most likely 1 year, and in the worst case, it's 6 months. She will give you. She gave us like a realistic like expectation, so we didn't have to like wonder like or we didn't have like a super high expectation. She arranged everything to convince the government というか embassy とか、そう。So it's very useful. It's just so expensive, which is makes sense. It's lawyer. You are hiring a lawyer, so that's that's fair, but yeah, it costs. If you do that by yourself, it's gonna be a lot of work. ね。I'm happy you talked about that part. I never heard anyone mention how hard it is to keep the spouse visa. Yeah. It's a lot of work. It's not like impossible, but it's so frustrating. Oh. But great how you switch from Japanese to English. I guess so. Uh, really want to move and work in Japan, but their visa rules are so strict. It seems almost impossible, struggling to find a way. I mean, if you get a job, they will sponsor you. That it's just not long term. おびこび、hello. Alex, welcome back. As someone with a child yourself, what's your perspective on the birth rate issue? ねえ、birth rate ねえ。I think, I don't know. I think it's just, well, in a really bigger perspective, like, human being will, なんだろう、distinct だっけなんか、just human being will be gone when they do, you know? That's all the species, right? In a long history of this planet, just some species die, some species stay for a certain amount of time, and human being is just one of the species, right? So it will happen anyway at some point. We are not forever, but in a short period of time, I kind of feel sad about some people are just giving up, right? I can't, I'm not capable of dating. I'm not capable of marriage. I'm not capable of children. I can't do that. I would just go for K-pop idols. I would just go for anime girls, anime boys, and don't really appreciate the real connection with the others. Because the experience will give you a lot of insight, wisdom, patience, and all that great quality. Then the partnership, it's a lot of work, but it's a great challenge, you know. But people think it's just a hard work and not rewarding, which, understandable how governments and society treat people who are busting their ass off to raise their children. So if Japan's government is really want to take this seriously, the birth rate seriously, they need to do more and no more gimmicks, They are like, hey, we made a new service, new matchmaking service, new dating app. It's just a gimmick. They make it look like they are providing a great solution, but no. They are not giving us solution. And the young generation sense that, oh, government is not really trying to help us. Japan's economy is going down for the past few decades. There's no bright future for us. So we can't have a happy family. We can't, we are just surviving to, so I can only provide myself. I can't provide for family. I'm not capable of relationships. I'm just surviving here. That's the young people, Japanese young people's mindset right now. They don't really have hope for the future. That's why they choose not to have more responsibilities, which is sad. I think they can do that. I mean, definitely some people are not supposed to have family and kids, but I think there are still many Japanese people who are capable of relationships and families and kids, but they choose not to because they don't feel like they can do it. Feel like they can do it, right? Which is sad and such a waste. you know. I take this seriously as a dating advisor, right? I'm really analyzing right now, and I'm thinking about making a video about this, the low birth rate in Japan. Yeah, that's probably the next video after the collaboration video with Kuro Couch. I feel like humanity as a whole just gave up on it as a whole is a reason. That's the vibe I feel. そうだね. If I get married to a Japanese girl, will I get permanent residence or do I have to renew every 7 years? Not even 7 years. 7 years will be very generous. As I told you, it's just 1 year. 1 year each year. You have to renew. And you will not get permanent residence until you can apply as the Kinoshita Jona said. You can apply from third year of your spouse visa, but that doesn't mean you will be accepted, right? It probably takes more time. And it's a lot of work. When I did a student exchange years ago, they asked for my parents' bank account details and copies of their statements. そう。もう、あれよ。You have to give everything. もう、yeah, your family's information too, yeah. It sounds like getting a security clearance, right? Right? 湿気は気温を大げさにしますよね。帰化申請の場合は戸籍を作る必要があるので、日本人の配偶者の戸籍謄本に加えて戸籍帳票かなで除籍とか出産死亡転居など全部提出。わあ、日本人の家族の戸籍とか電話番号とか、ギアニが嫌がって結局事情説明書を書けば情報なしで受け付けてくれました。やっぱり same freaking same やっぱりね yeah, they will feel hesitant about giving their information to the government for someone's for their for their brothers for their brother's spouse visa. Yeah, which kind of understandable, but hey, come on, also. But yeah, yeah, my brother-in-law also did not like to give in to the government. So we wrote a letter explaining the situation, and the government accepted it. Yeah, it sounds like it's. I feel exhausted listening to it. It's because of a bad economy. No one has money to do those things. You need money to survive as a family. It's too hard. That's also true, yeah. This is sad. We always wanted to have second Japan in Poland. Second Japan in Poland? There's a few people I know like that. Oh. I always dreamed about being a great father and husband. In my Mexican culture, we provide for the whole family, so only the man has a job. I'm trying my best. おー、ね、まあ、メキシカンファミリー、うん、そうだね。tend to be that way. Sami, there has been a boom in K-dramas in India, and we can already see their effect. They have led to an increase in expectations among couples. うん。まあ確かにね。まあだって、you say Korea, South Korea, their low birth rate is no joke. It's even worse than Japan, right? And maybe K-drama, K-pop is a part of the responsibility, but it sounds like yeah. Uh, well, from what I heard, they have a really big like feminism going on in Korea, and then that makes dating hard for men, especially. Yeah. So, まあね, it's South Korea thing. I can't really say uh from me, but yeah. Fun fact, K-pop and K-drama raised my ex-girlfriend. Okay. K-pop fan, yeah. I think low birth rate comes from a bad economy and a high living standard. I think there is that kind of aspect, but I think it's more on top of that. It's more about emotional thing. For example, right? I had a full-time job in Japanese company, which is like very successful. So I was making more than average Japanese woman. My standard salary as a Japanese. Um, and probably a little more than average as a Japanese woman because women's average salary is a little more lower. So I would say I was pretty successful from what I see now. But at that time, when I was making enough money, I was I felt like I was poor, right? I just after some years of full-time job, I left my family's place, which is pretty late because I didn't think I could survive. But yeah, I left my family's house and lived by myself. But and when I was living by myself, which I'm I'm pretty sure if you remember me at that point, because I was already making a YouTube video at that point and showing my lifestyle there. So if you look back, you would see how I was, like, saving so much money. I was buying like groceries out of super cheap supermarket, and didn't really eat like good food or like, なんだろうな. Yeah, I was really strict about my money because I thought I was poor. I'm not making enough, I'm not saving enough to be able to, I don't know, to be able to potentially get married and have a family in the future, right? Or even survive until 60, 70 to 80 to, right? So yeah, I was like, no, 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 not enough, not enough, not enough. I can't afford anything. I'm only affording myself. I can't have anyone to live with or even raise a family in the future. That's what I thought. Although, like right now, I'm not nearly making as much money, but I'm surviving somehow. It's not like, you know, I'm still able to raise Hiro. And government is supporting so much when it comes to finance, right? I didn't have to pay so much money for my childbirth, like なんだっけ, all the clinics and hospitals. I didn't pay so much because government covered. Hiro's health insurance is so powerful. I don't really have to pay when I take him to clinic and get medicine. Medicines are free for children under 18, right? The only costs we have to save is his education. まあね、high school and basically high school, after school とか、potentially international school, college, tuition and kind of stuff. Which is big. But it's not like we can't raise a kid, right? And if I was making average money, it was a lot more easier. So it's not like I was not able to support family, but I felt like it because of this older vibe in Japan. No, Japan's economy is going down. The, なんだっけ、Japan's, なんだっけ、yeah, Japan made the worst rank in certain, economic thing or things. Like we only hear like negative economy topic on the news, right? And then even though I was making enough money, I couldn't think optimistic. And I am sure there are so many other Japanese women or Japanese people who are thinking that way. They are making just enough money, but they'd rather save it for, you know, I don't know, after retirement. Because apparently they think they are not able to spend so much money on children. But they can. They can. If they want, they can. But they think they can't. Which is, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I can't really explain well, I guess. But, yeah, mentality かな? Yeah, young people's mentality really affects. I see a lot of people that are successful but will not be as successful married with kids, which is the high living standard expectation. まあそうかもね。Maybe there is an expectation, if you have kids, you have to send them to a fancy school or things like that, right? And まあね, I think Japan has that too. But Japan's education is not bad, even in public school, right? Public school has pretty good educational standard, so I don't think that would, affect so much. You don't have to send your kids to private school. Not necessary. So yeah, I don't think it's just about the economy. Economy っていうか, the financial reason. It's not just about it. Yeah, wish we had more money. Wish we had more like higher salary. But I think more people, yeah, people just decide not to because they think, まあね, they don't want to lower their standard かな. And they still want to have a fancy apartment, want to go to, なんだろうな, go on a trip every year とか things like that, maybe? Yeah. It's so complicated. I can't really say this is making the birth rate worse. You know what I mean? 育児休暇した男性が左遷されてどうでもいい仕事ばかりされてたみたいな。ああ。Break hollow. Hello. そうね。Lack of Japan's ability to let men participate in child raising. That's yeah, so true. So true. うん。そうだね. We don't have that kind of culture. And a lot of moms, women are suffering because of that. If we're being real, a combination of multiple nuanced issues is the reason for low birth rates. From Asagi's story, it could be just a mindset issue. No, like I told you, it's not like this is making it worse. There are so many aspects contribute to this serious low birth rate issue. So sounds like good government benefits, but high tax. So true. 戦士だよ。はい。In America, we call it the American dream, a house with a white picket fence, a wife, a kid with only one job maintaining everything. ね, what was that dream? Where did that go? Right? ね, it sounds crazy. Like back in the day, single mom could raise family and afford rents by having part-time job or something. And then now, American parents have to have like multiple jobs to pay rent even. That sounds like what happened? What happened? Right? Anyone have lease on jobs for Americans in Japan? I'm looking to come over soon. Lease on jobs. Oh. People don't want to lower their standard economic standard, right? And it's always, a risk to take a new step, right? I think one of the reasons why I didn't get out of my parents' house, I stayed in my parents' house pretty long. which is pretty common in Japan. But the one other thing was, I wanted to save more money because I felt like I was not making enough. I wanted to save money. I wanted to. I was kind of afraid of like lower life standard. I can't. The house is not as big as my parents' house. The food, I can't really eat fancy foods like beef とか I didn't buy beef when I was living by myself. I never ate beef, only like chicken breast, natto, that's all for the protein. And $1 bananas, only those things. I was eating only those things, or maybe tofu is cheap. So yeah, but I could do it. you know I didn't want to go for it, but I could do it. And yeah, instead of lower standard, you know I gained an experience to live by myself, maintain my life by myself, which is a big accomplishment at the end of the day. So yeah, it's always risk to take a new step, new lifestyle, and you feel like you lowered the standard, lost something, but you always get something else, right? That's life. But people can't people can't do life anymore. People can't do life anymore. They don't want a lower standard. That's why no kids, no responsibility, just want to improve their like fancy luxurious life or things like that. I'm sure there are many people who are just surviving day by day and can't afford kids or anything. That's understandable. But people who have money are even choosing not to have kids because, that's their choice. I can't really make comments personally. Like, hey, you make enough money. You have to have kids. I can't do that. But ね、なんだろうか。They don't want to lower their standard of living or suffer, but so many people are going to neglect it when they get old now. The economy doesn't help, but the attitude is more important. My American public school was useless, or the math was too low level. My professor, who is a mathematic researcher in the field of AI, taught us all the situations of. I think that's the issue in. That's not an issue in Japan, but in the U.S., you feel like you have to send your kids to private school because of the level of the education, right? But not much of an issue in Japan. Most public schools have enough standard. なんかまあね、もう、you know, they have like nice 給食 lunch, school lunch. They get enough education by just going to a public school. So yeah, I'm grateful for Japanese education system, which is not perfect at all. But yeah, when it comes to the standard, the level, that's good in Japan. Great to hear that you and your husband make enough money for yourself and you, husband and child. もうサバイビングですよ。Day by day. うん。Because we have to. we have to. We have to keep him alive. We have to feed Hiro. うん。But we were still living in a very small apartment to save some more money. Um, you know, at the age of middle 30, we still don't have house or anything. It's not what we want to be, but I guess, still enough to survive, enough to raise so far. And we should also think about, if we want to send him international school, definitely not making enough. We also have to think about saving for house, saving for his future tuition. Lots to worry about, but yeah, we managed to survive, I guess, even though, yeah, the salary is not good and I don't even have a full-time job, so yeah. People make more money, they will just spend more, so the situation doesn't really change. ね。Industrial military complex war crimes increasing tax through inflation while wages have been the same for 50 years. Is that Japan or America? That dream went away. アメリカかな? That dream went away because America shipped its jobs away and traded it for a service economy and cheap goods. It's comfort with your parents and economic advantage which you lose when you leave. ね、そうそうそう。AI Bundy from Married with Children? One job in shoe shop, housewife, two children. He was pictured as loser. AI Bundy? Yeah, I don't know. Dog, hi. Brian, welcome back. I noticed when I lived in Aizu Wakamatsu, Fukushima, I hardly saw any foreigners in that area. Now I heard there are way more foreigners than before in Japan. More, right now, yes. I don't know about the Aizu Wakamatsu, but yeah, so many tourists, so many residents. Those things made you keep your youth and health very healthy. あ豆腐、納豆とチキンは安い。そうそう。yeah. I was eating 豆腐、納豆, chicken breast. that's it. And then at that time I was, working at the company and then they provided like canteen. Not free, but it was very cheap. If I pay 100 yen, they gave us a bowl of udon noodle, um, and that was just enough. Of course, I added a little, small things for the なんだろう nutrition, you know, cheap lunch. Oh yeah. So yeah, I was eating more at the canteen than my house. Yeah, yeah, I was like, looking at few more supermarkets and then, compared which one is the most, uh, cheapest price or things like that. I was doing those things, which is kind of time consuming, I guess. But I was always looking for like cheap food, cheap anything. My my furniture was all from IKEA or Nitori. ね、those days. Now I can't really think of like, oh, which one is the cheapest, you know. And also we have to feed him nutritious food, not just cheap food, right? So yeah, things are different now, but still trying to save money when I can. Mm. For such high standard of education, why is English education so bad, right? That's the mystery. People can do math, people can do kanji, all the things, but not English. まあね、that's the shy personality だよ、本当。Shy personality and a part of education, Japanese education, is that don't make mistakes, right? You shouldn't make mistakes. That is a really bad mindset when it comes to learning a language. You learn from making mistakes, right? But people are told that you shouldn't make mistakes. That's why, yeah, Japanese people are like afraid of talking in English, and yeah, we can write English though. Many people can write and read and write English, but not speaking. That's the thing. Americans aren't taught math and science in part because teachers here have a low status job with commensurate low salary. Public school でしょ？ When do you listen to music? Good question. Not much recently. Not much recently. Music はね。Well, when I can. When I can. What is the level of math in Japan? High school, and did you go high school in Japan or USA? My education is all in Japan. High school, I don't remember. なんか、もうマスはね、I was really bad at math, so it's deleted from my memory. Are you guys planning to have more kids? Nope. We can't afford. And Hiro is already a lot of work. So yeah. Did you pick the name or did your husband pick the name? What is the tradition in Japan? The Hiro's name? We we picked together. うん。Dappy, thanks for the super chat. Keep surviving for your Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. Cheap food. Wow, sounds like a great job. まあ、when you work for a food, なんか、bigger companies, you will get those cheap food. Or you will get financial support for your lunch. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty common in Japanese companies. なんか、big companies かな。Yeah. Especially my former company I was working for was manufacturing company. So there were so many like factory workers in other regions. Not in I was working at Tokyo, so no factory workers in Tokyo, but the other like facilities had so many factory workers. Then they provide canteen, right? So まあね、Tokyo building, Tokyo office, they also had canteen and they provided very good meal. If I miss that. I really miss that. Canteen. Yeah, it was so nice, cheap and good. ね。I have a master's in a STEM field, so our higher education is still good. But the issue is most kids not learning proper English, math, and science in K-12 and safety at school. まあね、そうだね。なんか、it has gaps. It sounds like it. Chris from abroad in Japan and Connor from Trash Taste made a video about 12 things they don't like from Japan. Your thumbnail from an old reaction video you did of Chris was on his video. なんでなんでオードリアクションビデオか。なんでだろうdid they, 何 what was the context? ざわざわ。なんか、you know, well, Japanese people are so bad, and then my thumbnail popped up. I don't know. I hope they didn't, like, use my thumbnail for negative narrative. I watched so many videos on why Japanese are not great at English. And that's weird. You can write it and read it, but you can't speak it because it requires communication and it requires more like trial and error. And in Japanese mindset, you can't make mistakes, right? So yeah. One of the most important things is to teach people to not judge themselves and to be brave, right? Those are the biggest things holding back Japanese learners of English. That's true. If you have taught English to Japanese students, you will understand. Yeah, this is the issue. Who was the main character in your high school class? Anyone can answer. Who is the main character in your high school class? What does that mean? 誰です。Hello. It isn't taught seriously. Shyness and perfectionism. True. The mindset of English being too free without clear rules. Oh, interesting. I think it's an individualism in America that maybe doesn't work in Japan because of social culture. The last thing is to break out of groups, and Japanese people are collectivistic, and to learn a language you need to be you need to be immersed around foreigners or the foreign language. まあそうね、that's true. Immersed. ね、how other countries, like how is the education, English education in other countries, such as like South Korea or China or like Vietnam, Thai, they speak way better English than Japanese people, right? Not, I guess, part of it comes from, they don't really afraid of making mistakes. They are not so shy. That's big thing, but maybe their education is different. I don't know. You have to be rude to learn Japanese effectively. You have to be rude. Oh. Do you play any RPG games? No time for that. How did you learn to speak English because of boyfriends? How did you learn to speak English because of boyfriends? What, is that a question? I don't know. In the media, they always show Japanese women working in fancy jobs or some fashion-related jobs. I rarely see girls working in labor jobs or other jobs that are not popular. In media? まあそうかもね。 Well, realistically speaking, yeah, there are so many like factory workers in Japan, like female factory workers in Japan. I saw a lot. まあ、とは、I think the common thing is like care jobs, like uh, child carer とか、うん、保育士っていうのなんていうの保育士は何 babysitters? Babysitters, no. Like kids daycare houses workers とか it's very common. Um, nurse or like hospital related clinic working for clinics, not as doctors but like nurses or like like a general affairs とかあとはnutritionist とかね。うん。That's pretty common. まあ those are certified jobs. うん。Well, when it comes to certified jobs, there are so many Japanese women working in that kind of industry. Uh, I taught in China and Southeast Asia, and I think the biggest thing is you see people talking to each other in English to practice. There's less stigma even in China for making a mistakes. へえ。Yes, that's a question? あ、そう。How did I learn to speak English? Because of boyfriends? That's the question? Uh, how I learned English? I mean, I was always interested in English from really young age and started to learn English, but it was only writing, right? Writing and reading. Up until the age of 17とか18かな。まあ、until college かな。I mean, I was making a little bit of a conversation with AOT. You know, I'm sure you know AOT. There was AOT. Um, yeah, in my junior high, かな middle school in your in America middle school. In my middle school, there was an AOT teacher, and I sometimes talked with him. His name is Adam. Thank you, Adam. He was the only, native speaker around me. But it was very little. I was talking with him every day or anything. So, yeah. My high school, I there was not no English teacher like native speakers there, so I was kind of away from it. But I was listening to like Avril Lavigne, Hinder, my Western music, かな Western music, and then I was trying to sing in English. And I think singing in English really helped my pronunciation because, you know, I don't talk like this. Does many Japanese people uh, speak like this, right? Well, I think my pronunciation is pretty good because I learned how to pronounce from songs, right? So it's more like fluent. Um, and and the college my major was English, and I was learning English more deeply. And there were so many like native speakers there, and I had to make presentation in English, and I had more like cultural aspect, the background of English, how it's made, how they think. So I learned so many things at the college. And I even went to the language school in California, Orange County. That's where, that's the first spike, I guess. Because I had to speak in English, only in English, while I was in the US for a month, just for a month, but still, it was a lot. I had to talk in English with my host family. They speak zero Japanese, right? So there's no escape. And I made some friends uh, at the school, international people, you know, and then that was the first spike for sure that I already had an ability to speak English, but I was still hesitant, when a foreigner come in front of me, I was like nervous, right? Oh, I don't know what to say. I know English, but I don't know what to say, right? So I was able to do practice, like more like, I don't know, emotional じゃなくて mentally prepared, because I went to California. So that was the first spike, and then I got used to talking with foreigners in general. And yes, the second spike was when I started to date foreigners, right? Because dating and even having a relationship, it requires like more deeper level of English language. I had to explain everything mostly because my first boyfriend didn't speak so much Japanese. So I had to argue with him. I had to explain like cultural details or everything in English. And then I helped so many things like him moving to a new apartment, finding an apartment, and then I had to explain or translate for him. So I think that was the second spike. And the third spike is definitely YouTube. I got to speak and explain things in English. So yeah, there is almost like 20 years? No, 20 years? Almost 20 years journey learning English. Oh my gosh. It was a long way to become this level, and it's not even perfect. It's not like native level, so yeah. I know a Japanese woman that drives a bulldozer. Bulldozer. Sorry.
It's the theme of the week.
Sorry, Lloyd. It's just Hiro is learning how to say bulldozer right now. He's almost got it. He sometimes go like bulldozer, right? Yeah, bulldozer. But he's still practicing, so yeah, that's sorry. And even Holly,
First word in English is bulldozer.
yeah, would be great. How old does my child have to be in order to own a phone? Any thoughts? Own a phone. でもね, yeah, I was, てか I am curious too. But simply having a phone, it can be like, I don't know, 8 or 10, like, なんだろう、elementary school とかじゃない? But we wouldn't let him use like, any social media or things like that. Seems like there are so many like solutions for children to regulate their smartphone use. You know, for example, I was talking with this ballet kid, right? And then she's like 12 or 13, very young. And then she was like, my screen time is only like one hour a day, 1 hour a day, and the smartphone shut off, or I can't use any social media or browsing or YouTube or anything after passing 1 hour. And oh, okay, sounds good. There's that kind of program for that, for children to use smartphones. And I'm pretty sure she can still use, like, make phone calls or to her mom and stuff like that. But that, that's useful. So I now that I know there's that kind of solution, um, I feel like simply giving him a phone is for his protection. If there's anything happen, he can call us. So yeah, but social media use, it has to be like, sometime at least middle school or something. Social media for elementary school kids, that sounds like too much, too toxic. So I wouldn't let him. Well, any thoughts, everyone? Chris used thumbnails from many YouTubers in his video to show how many people reacted to his old video. It was nothing negative. I remember when me and my ex-Japanese girlfriend were first. Okay, so it's not negative. Is it though? Well, okay. It's just one of those thumbnails, I guess. Cool. I remember when me and my ex-girlfriend were first dating, she found out I spoke Spanish too. She secretly was trying to learn Spanish and English too. That was when times were better for me. Wish I could talk like that. It well, you can definitely get here, and the first for me first 5 years or so was not really practical. I was only learning how to write and read English, and then didn't really practice speaking with native speakers. Well, at that time, there was no, like, hello talk or anything, right? Didn't have a chance to talk with foreigners. But yeah, if you just go for it, talk with Japanese people, then your Japanese will be significantly get better, you know. Orange County is very safe, I think. So many Japanese people live there, so. CA is low-key racist, but really nice area. But it's also very expensive right now. But when I went there, it was like 15 years ago. So things were different. Great live chat, very informative and entertaining. I'm glad you find that way. I'm trying my best. Crunch the Grace. てか, Hopper, welcome back. It's been a while. And thank you for the super chat. Returned from a 2 nights paid gig at the Osaka Hilton to speak about Elon to investors to a medical cannabis enterprise was a hit. Then went to Kagoshima and saw my favorite Taiga hero, Seigo Takamori. Saigo Takamori. Saigo Takamori. いいじゃん. Oh, fancy. Are you like were you a speaker of like investor investor event or something? Sounds fancy. Sounds fancy. glad it went well. And you got to do some sightseeing even. Thank you, Hopper. ありがとうございます。お、マイクも久しぶり。At least it's not ブルドーザー。ブルドーザー。Didn't think of that. Yeah, there are many solutions, seems to be. My thoughts on children having a cell phone. 30. まあね、when a person can be fully, like, truly responsible, yeah, 30. おやすみだろう。Kids shouldn't be allowed on social media until like 16 plus. Actually, that Australia have that kind of law, right? なんか children under 16 can't use social media anymore, right? If I'm correct. Seriously, they've shown it has a negative impact on kids and adults. So I would say I'd be very cautious giving a child a phone, and they can be exposed to ポンね。もうね、これもyou can block as long as it's like 何 their phone, provided a phone from you. If they use other devices, then yeah, good luck. But まあね、there are even when we can block sites like adult sites, there is this nowadays there is this 何 ads, right? Like you see on YouTube or when you are browsing, there are like very very なんだろうな、なんていうの sexual ads coming up on your feed outside of your will, right? And then seems like they're not regulated enough, at least in Japan, and that kind of like なんだろうな、例えばsexual comic とかね、little sexual comics kind of ads pop up when children are browsing or watching YouTube or something, which is scary to me, right? It's very, very awkward, and then you can't really block, control. ね。Which is bad, right? ね。I'm a sensei and hate to observe that most people I saw seem to be in a routine rut. Even outside of transportation, in the streets, I was desert on the speaker's menu. Desert. Dessert かな? I'm a teacher. Most people I saw seem to be in a routine rut. Even outside transportation. He. Mike, sorry I came in late in the stream. It's been long, but I've been so busy. Visa problems. Oh, visa. Yeah, we were talking about how hard to keep the visa in Japan, you know. So we feel you. We feel you. そう。まあそうね。Anyways, it's time for me to go. ね。Thanks for joining the live stream, even though it was like it was not scheduled, and I'm sure some of the Asaginators have missed because I didn't set the schedule. But sorry about that. I was feeling really sick last night after the long trip, and me be trying to be socialized. Well, yeah, yeah, but it was a nice chat, and I really appreciate your support. Thanks for all the super chat for today's live stream. I really appreciate it. And yeah, now I am going to um, edit the collaboration video with Kuro Couch. I hope you guys will. I'm sure you will enjoy, especially you are, black, because we talked about how to なんか dating in Japan as black guys, black men, right? So it's gonna be a really interesting, fun, insightful video. So stay tuned. So and live stream will probably happen, and I will just schedule as usual. So we'll see. I'll see you there next weekend. Bye bye.